talking to a lot of your peers, and it's been exciting. So I grew up in Western New York. Has anyone been to Western New York or from Western New York? All right. My mom's from Oakfield, and there's a lot of big dairies there, and I spent my summers going out to the dairy farm, hanging out with my cousins. Didn't have to do too much hard work, but I did count the baby cows a lot. So I've worked in agriculture for about 14 years. I started covering agriculture for Wall Street investors. Wall Street investors want to know what's happening in agriculture because they want to put money into companies like Corteva, like Bayer, like Syngenta, and startups as well. So that was something that I did for about 8-9 years, and then I jumped into working with farm businesses directly. So I'm going to give you a glimpse in the day in the life of a digital farmer. Now, this farmer's not raising iPads out in the field or using computers to spray something out there. He's actually using software tools in the cloud and connecting his team through smart devices. I think all of you probably have one of these. If you don't, let me know and I'll talk to your folks for you, because you need to have one of these for the future, right? And for today. So just real quick, Corteva is the agri-sciences division of Dow DuPont. Some of you may know that Dow and DuPont were two mega big companies. They made carpet, they made countertops, they had seed, they had chemicals. Pioneer Seed is one of their brands. Those two companies merged, and Corteva will be the standalone agri-sciences company that will be on its own next July. So get used to that name, Corteva. It means heart and earth. And Granular is the division of Corteva that provides software tools, digital tools to farmers. So that's where I work, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. So let's go through a day in the life of a digital farmer. So why digital tools? What do digital tools do for us? Marcus over there is holding one of the iPads that I have. We can connect now on the same platform, and everything that we do on the farm feeds into the same system. I can send a work order to Marcus to tell him to go harvest a field. I can send him a spray record. I can send any information, and it all comes back together. This allows for more efficiency, more profitability for the farm, and more sustainability, right? Because it's just not using as much time, labor, chemicals, and things that we have on the land, on the fields. And so we can make really intelligent decisions immediately, real time, which helps us in many ways. And I'm going to go through that and talk more about how it works. So why do we farm? Why did my family farm or still farms? There's so many reasons why. Farmers take more risks than any other businesses in the world, in my opinion. There's so many hours and hours and hours spent out in the fields. There's so much money on the line. Farmers put in blood, sweat, tears. I'm sure many of you have helped for hours and hours of planting time, harvest time with livestock. So why do farmers do it? It's a way of life, right? You get to work with your family. You get to take care of the land that your ancestors, many generations of your family has probably taken care of prior. You get to produce crops that energize the world. You get to provide fuel, food, clothes, and many other products that we don't even think of. You impact people's lives every day, people you don't even know, never even heard of. And also farmers have to farm to make some money, right? And that's always tough to do. And having these tools and having this data helps the granular farms really understand their costs of production. If they understand what it's costing them on every field to raise a crop, they can make adjustments, make more money, do more for their family, do more for their communities, and have more sustainability in their overall businesses. So I'm going to walk you through a day in the life of one of our customers, Jeremy. And what does it mean for Jeremy to use these tools? Well, when we asked Jeremy, he says, I can know more about my business, about what's going on my farms, about problems that may be happening agronomically on my fields, and I can know this, do more, and live better. And that's today's theme, right? Improving lives. So let's take a look and see how this is going to play out for Jeremy today. So it's 6 a.m. Jeremy wakes up. He can check his field conditions. He can see what's happening for today, see what the weather is doing on his field, see where conditions are good for spraying. Maybe it's time to harvest a field. He can also connect to his team and see what they did yesterday. He can look at crop scouting reports, and that's what's in that picture there. Maybe his crop scout made a new rec for a field. That will automatically pop out. He doesn't have to be on the phone first thing in the morning. He doesn't have to type out long drawn text. And all this is recorded into that one platform. So his office team can also take a look and see what's happening. They don't have to constantly be fighting and texting and texting and texting. So many farms are using these smart devices just to text. Let them do the record keeping, let them do the work for us. And this is stuff that's happening now. We are in the US, we're in Australia, and we're in North America. So this isn't just an idea, this is happening today on millions and millions of acres. So Jeremy then gets ready to go. He's rolling into his truck. Hold up the iPad there, Marcus. He's gonna now look at some images of fields before he takes off. He can see where maybe there's some problems starting. We have a system with Planet Labs. They have thousands of small microsatellites orbiting the Earth every day. Planet Labs, this is a company to look up and watch out for. They are taking a picture of every landmass every single day. Those images are used by the military, by retail, counting cars in mall parking lots, checking out how many people are at Walmart today, and by agriculture. And we take those pictures and we digest them through a complex algorithm to tell the farm where the crop is healthy and where it's not. So Jeremy may see a small spot. He hasn't even gone into the shop yet. He hasn't even talked to a single employee yet. He may see a spot where he needs to target and put a crop scout out there and find out what spray recommendation needs to be made. 7 o'clock, he rolls into his shop, sits down at his desk for a few minutes. Usually back in the day before this tool, Granular tool he was using, he would have to have a meeting. Now he's already got his team working for them. They're out there, they're doing what they've been sent on their work orders. We turn these smart devices into a digital clipboard. Soybean harvesting even can give me directions right to the field. When I'm done harvesting those soybeans, I just note the weight, or I can get it from a Bluetooth adapter from the grain cart scale, and everything's into the main system. Jeremy can quickly check on field conditions again, check the grain markets, look at his crop inventory, and do many different things that help him just move through the morning and then get out to the fields himself. Now, we don't want Jeremy to ignore his team, right? I mean, people work together. That's one of the most important parts of life, is having these people around you that are working with you. Team communications for Jeremy's operation now count. It's not, hey, Bob, go do this. Bob, you didn't do that. Bob, use that chemical, use that tractor. Bob has all that. Now Jeremy can talk to Bob, and they can talk about things that are more important. What are Bob's ideas for innovation? What are Bob's ideas for maybe a land sale he heard about? Maybe he just asked Bob about his family, or, hey, where you been hunting this fall? Where's that buck been hanging out? Something really cool on our app, too, is if you're out in a field, you can take a picture of that buck and go back and find it. It'll drop you right there. So we're really, really putting these smart devices to work for farms. 7:45, Jeremy leaves his shop and he rolls out to the fields where he's happiest. He's working alongside his team. He's got all of his field records in the palm of his hand. So maybe he sees something and he wants to know, why is this crop not looking so great compared to the other crop? Or why are these beans producing more pods than the other? He can just pull it right up on his phone, what agronomic plan they used on that field. For those of you that help your parents with row crop farming, you probably know how valuable that is. One thing I didn't mention yet is our system also can talk to the machines. So the machines are also part of this as well. So monitors in the machines, whether they're yield monitors, planters, everything feeds in and can work together. So Jeremy's worked in the fields, 1 o'clock, time to take a quick break. He takes a quick seat at his desk. He can look at this dashboard. This dashboard is giving him the health of his business. What are the grain markets doing? Where are his break-evens? What are his crop input inventories, and how do they stand compared to his game plan? How much of his crop does he have sold? He can also run insurance reports in minutes for the crop insurance agency. He can actually pull nutrient management plans. How many of you have livestock or dairies that are nutrient management plans? Probably a few hands if you're from Western New York, there's a lot of dairies. So that usually would take someone in the office 10, 12, even sometimes 30 hours. Jeremy can now do that in just his quick lunch break because it's a database of everything that's happening on the farm. 1:45, quick lunch, back to the fields, where Jeremy's happiest. And again, he can look right, and you're going to see in a video in a second, he can record and keep things moving right off his phone or his iPad. So if Jeremy wraps up his day, he's been out in the fields, he can come into the office, take a quick look at inventories in person, checking some quality there, jumps on his computer, scrolls through what everyone else did for the day, sees how many loads came in or how much spray inventory went on. And this is really enriching his life. Before he had to sit down for hours and hours to do that. Now he can do things in just minutes. He's also empowered his team, his people. They don't have to wait for him to show back up at the shop late at night. They're already home with their families. We've had many customers say, you know, we're so efficient now, we can give our farms off Sundays during harvest. We can do things for our employees that we haven't been able to do before. We've got fields that are 40 minutes away. We can check the weather on those fields and not have to have someone running around doing that. So let's let Jeremy tell us directly about his day, and he'll give us a little tour.
I think being a farmer is just one of the coolest things there is to do. I think you're born almost as a farmer with it in your blood, waking up early every morning, getting to come out and produce a crop. Every day you get to do something. Every day you get to see it grow. With Granular, it was really just the culture that they were trying to put into a company, the people that they had working with them, and the questions they asked. They weren't trying to tell us how we were going to use software. They were asking us how we farmed to figure out how software could work in our lives. That's when we signed up and said, you know, we're going to hitch our wagon to you and we're going to go have some fun. It's amazing because when you get Granular, you don't just get a software program, you get people along with it. They bring the knowledge of what the program can do, and they bring the background of what our operation has done. Our operation has changed how we keep up with stuff, how we record things, how we look at things financially. That just makes life so much easier. We've continued to grow the operation and grow the opportunities. As farmers, we're allowed to work with our families and work with our team members' families, and it's a very fulfilling job to come out and know that the work you do feeds and clothes the people that you work with.
All right. Well, that's Jeremy.